RB Leipzig, a team packed with potential, but right now they're struggling, sitting 5th in the Bundesliga and fresh off a brutal manager's sacking. The project has been stalled, but today we take control. This isn't just a rebuild, it's a full-blown revolution. Over the next decade, we're not just chasing titles, we're coming for total dominance. German Cups, ours. The Bundesliga, ours. And the big one, the Champions League, it's coming home to Leipzig. So strap in, get the popcorn, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and as always, you can comment below the next rebuild you want to see. Let's begin. So then, over to one of my favourite teams in world football, that is going to be RB Leipzig. Now, we have got the joy today of rebuilding them, not over 5 years, but over 10 years. So, whatever happens, whether we win the Champions League in the first season or the 10th season, you are going to be getting 10 years regardless. And I know, judging from the comments, you like the longer videos, so I do pay attention. So be sure to leave a little like on this one. Now, Leipzig in the game have got a great start, okay? They've got a great reputation, great training, immaculate youth facility, so I will be keeping a very close eye on any potential upcoming talent. Youth recruitment, not ideal, but again, it's okay. The owners love the club, of course part of the big Red Bull brand, and we have got a little bit of money to play with. Now, they're not the most loved club in Germany, that has to be said, but I like them because I do like my Red Bull, and also they produce some really, really good players, whether they come through Leipzig themselves, some do, some come from Salzburg, and obviously they sort of pass around the pool, and then usually it's Bayern or Liverpool that get the end product. Szoboszlai is a name that comes to mind. Now, going over as an actual club, we have only really won a couple of big trophies. Well, 3. German Super Cup, 2 Pokals. So, nothing massive, and as you can see, it's a bit of a boring line at the moment. We're not really falling off, but also we're not really doing anything too great. Obviously, you can see in terms of where we were, we have come up the rankings quite quickly, which I think is one of the reasons why they're not liked, because they do have obviously quite a fair bit of financial backing, and also no one likes to see people do well apparently, so that also does play a part in it. Now, in terms of the tactics, we are going to have a new, non-meta, non-tested tactic, which when you play with Leipzig, you pretty much have to play narrow, in my opinion, if you want to get the most out of their players. Now, of course, a player that we are going to talk about today is Xavi Simons, because he's not on loan anymore. We have got him at the club. The best, longest length I've kept Xavi Simons without being forced to sell him is 2 seasons. So I hope we can push the limits today, because this guy, incredible. He is such a good player, one of the best young attacking midfield players in the world, and the fact we get to play with him today from season 1 is absolutely crazy. We've also got a ridiculous front line, another reason why you play 2 up front. You've got none other than Benjamin Sesko. I mean, one of the FM players' most favourite strikers this year, genuinely an absolute monster, and again, 20 years of age. And next to him, none other than Openda. 3 years older, still as good. A bit more quicker, etc. So them 2 up front are literally like bread and butter. They go well, really, really well, and genuinely it's an absolute pleasure to play with these 2 up front and have these 2 players, even the likes of Christoph, okay? He might not be the biggest name, a lot of people rarely give him credit, but him, alongside of Simons, he is only 23 as well. So, you know, out of this front 4, the oldest player we have is 23, which is still incredibly young. We could have an entire decade with this front 4. Simple as that. That is more than possible. Now, I'll be honest, as you go down the team, I'm not a ridiculous fan of the DMs. So, Schlager, I think, is okay, but he's pretty average. Campbell is sort of past it. He's 32 years of age. We are going to transfer list him. Of course, they've got young talents, but I feel like the word talent can be misleading sometimes. So, Haidara, he's never really good for me on this game, so I'm not going to even waste your time today. He will not be part of the plans. I've used him so many times, he never develops well. We do, however, have the likes of Seevald, who is 22, a young player, a player that I mistakenly said in, like I believe, 3 rebuilds ago, he was about 29? No, he's 22. I don't know why I thought he was so old. He is a really, really, really young and upcoming talent. Other players on the bench includes Klosterman, been at the club for a while. You've got Poulsen, Baku, their new signing in real life, not the F1 circuit, the right back from Wolfsburg. A great signing for 9 million. No, we can't even see it. Don't know how much they paid for him. Something in my head saying 32. Maybe. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. You've also got Asan, ridiculous talent, and again, will be given a fair chance to play. I'm not going to lock him in, but also I'm not just going to sell him. So he has got a chance today to really prove his position. Obviously, the first position which probably comes to your head, which you've got to start to think to replace, is goalkeeper, because Galashi is 33 years of age, and I will be honest with you, I am very torn when it comes to this man in goal, because he either develops really, really well, or he doesn't. And for the first couple of seasons, or season at least, Galashi is going to be in the team, so we'll see how this goalkeeper does. We've got Blaswich as well, who probably is going to be offloaded. He is 32. And in the mix of these sort of players, obviously you've got Gertruda as well. You've got a nice mixture of different players. Nusa, a very, very good player. We've signed him recently in a previous rebuild. He can become a real dangerous nippy winger. So genuinely, tons of potential in this team already. We are playing in 3 competitions, the Bundesliga, the UCL and the Pokal, and they are predicting a finish of around 4th place. Now, for me, this tactic I've never used before. I'm confident with what we have done because we have got everyone in their best positions, you know. We've also got the AMs taking a lot of risks going on, literally, and dribbling more, getting into different channels, roaming about. We have let them just do what they want. They can create, we'll defend for them, because when you've got Simmons and Christoph, you need to let them attack, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So looking at this tactic, looking at this team, I genuinely think we can easily get in the top 4, and I'm going to go a step above it. I think we can challenge for the title in Season 1. Don't know if we're going to win it, but I think we can challenge genuinely for the title in Season 1. Maybe I'm being deluded. Again, any part of this video, if you do want to get the rebuild file and the tactic and all of these perks, you can come over and check out the Patreon in the link below, where there is an exclusive code on the community tab on my main channel for 20% off. So make sure you take full advantage of that, because who doesn't like to save money? Let's get into Season 1. Okay, so it's not horrific, because I tell you what, we are only 5 points off the title, but we are going to be down in 3rd place. So the big thing here is we are in the top 4 as predicted, and we have gained a place on the prediction. But of course, I did say I could challenge for the title, and I feel like we have done. I mean, us and Bayer Leverkusen are literally on the same wins, points, and draws. So, points and draws and losses. What am I? Points and draws and losses. We're on the same is what I'm trying to say. Bayern a little bit better. Do we lose to Bayern twice? We lost 6-1 in one of the games, and we beat them once. Can we see that result here? A 2-1 win. So we didn't get slaughtered. Well, we did get slaughtered in the away game, but we didn't lose both of the games. So I just think improve some of these draws. I mean, we drew against the likes of Kiel, who are in 10th. You've got the likes of, who did we lose against again? Augsburg in 8th, Wolfsburg. They had a great season. Frankfurt had a great season as well. So we didn't really slip up too much against the smaller teams, to be honest with you, but we just got to win more games. Simple as that. Appendit is going to be your top goal scorer. I'm very surprised Sesko's not here, because I imagine he has played. We are then going to also have the likes of David Raum. Now, how I've not spoke about this guy from the get-go is beyond me, because this guy is one of my favourite left-backs in the game. Just behind Aaron Hickey, because I know Hickey can also be a right back, but if you said to me, Josh, give me your favourite wing back, I'm going with Aaron Hickey, because he's semi-young if you get him quite early, he's quick, he's versatile, and usually you can get him after a season or 2. So David Raum is one of my favourite players, so buzzing to have him at the team as well. Now, it's okay. It's not incredible, but it's decent. The rest of the competitions, we are going to see a very early exit in the Pokal. The second round, a 3-1 loss to Freiburg, which is really not ideal, to be honest with you, because we are trying to reclaim every trophy I can get my hands on. The other competitions, awful in the Champions League. I will say we had a tough group, but I think Madrid are Madrid. Fair game. But we should be beating Feyenoord, and I do think we should be beating Marseille. I really think we should be. Now, we lose 3 games here. We concede 6 to Madrid again. We lose at home to Marseille. We lose away to Feyenoord. And also we draw there against Marseille. So 1 point out of 2 games against Marseille is never going to make you deserve to go through. I mean, we beat Madrid there and we blitzed Feyenoord 8-1. But the slip up to Marseille, we got what we deserve. Now, we do get put through to the Europa League, of course, and going on to the schedule, we can actually go and look. We started off, by the way, very, very hot, and then it slowly sort of got to us when we were going into that Champions League games, and we actually end up losing in the quarterfinals 5-2. So really not ideal, because I'm not being funny. The first leg, we lost 3-0. To go into a second leg against Liverpool 3-0 down, we done well to score a couple, but then we go and concede 2. So we were never going to get the job done. So, I mean, it's a pretty decent first season, but we can really understand where we're going to go from now. So, Henrik's 4-10. Incredible. David Raum, 7-25. It's why I love the guy. Such a good player. Kevin Campbell, 3-3. Schlager, 1-5. Christoph, 8-9. 15-5 from Simmons. 17-2 from Sesko. A little bit quiet compared to Openda, but still very, very good. 6-4 for Poulsen. Baku, 5-9. So let's not write off the new right back just yet, because he will be getting game time. This is where things get interesting, because we have Timo Werner, Silva, both out on loan. Timo Werner, obviously out on loan to Tottenham. He has returned us 1-1. He can go. He will be transfer listed the second he gets back. Silva, however, as a little backup option, has bagged 8 goals in the league for Werder Bremen, who actually did finish in 15th place. So that's not an easy team to get goals in. So I have got a bit of respect for him there. Asan 6-3 as well. Gertrude 4-5. We've had a real strong performance from the bench as well. Now, looking at this team on paper, money-wise first, let's look at that. We are going to have a reasonable budget of £46 million. The debts and loans, a little bit in the transfer debt. I say a little, 105 mil. So we've got to lock in a little bit. But we do need to strengthen. That is pretty common sense, but we are going to be sensible, and I think we need to look at potentially offload them before we bring in. So I'll come back with the decision making, but I'm going to do everything at the moment to keep hold of this guy, because I lose him all the time. And so no one actually got sold. We have transfer listed a ton of people, but no offers come in. So what we're going to do is we've transfer listed, offered to clubs, and we will tick that magic box when you go on holiday to accept all transfer listed players. But we have got Lunin coming in. So we've spent our budget, £43 million, 11 clean sheets out of 34 games. So he comes in and just puts Galashi to one side. Was he my first choice? No, he wasn't my first choice, but he is still a good goalkeeper, and the ones that are 22, 23, you're talking 80, 90 million. So Lunin is going to be the man that we are going to bring in. And although it is only one signing, it is a very much needed signing in that position. The big question, has it improved our league finish? No. And we've fallen off a little bit behind Bayern, because Bayern now hold a 13-point lead over us and a 12-point lead over Borussia Dortmund, and quite a fair lead over Frankfurt. Now, I'm not going to blame the goalkeeper, because I feel like that's incredibly harsh. Again, I do want to start seeing years down the line Openda and Sesko in the top player stats, because for goals, Sesko's actually down in 9th, and there's a few players in here that I think Sesko should, let's just say, be doing better than, in my opinion. What is really good is we have got 2 players joint first when it comes to assists, so David Raum and Xavi Simmons and Sesko, so he sort of makes up for it a little bit there. But clean sheet wise, we are going to be down in joint third, so that's also quite tidy. So it is a decent season, but of course Bayern really did improve. Did we lose against Bayern again? Only the 2-0. Did we beat Bayern? We beat them. So back-to-back seasons, we lose one, we win one. That is at the moment completely fine, because it's not like they're walking the park with us. Obviously they battered us in the first season, but although it's more of a point gap, we're not really falling off too much. Just Bayern had a really strong season, and let's not sugarcoat things, okay? They have got Vincent Kompany in charge. The guy knows what he's doing. The team is incredible. A very strong team. It is not going to be an easy title to claim. Other competitions, we are going to see a 3rd round exit against Leverkusen. Frustrating to go out in the stage. Not annoyed, because we are playing Leverkusen, who I believe still have got Xabi Alonso, so always going to be a tough game. And the Champions League, around a 16 exit against City, we do go and lose 3-0 over 2 legs. And they still have Pep Guardiola, so that is always not going to be an easy game. The league phase, we didn't automatically get qualification. We have to go through this round here, where we actually did beat Rennes 5-2. If we would have lost that, I would have been annoyed. But when you play a team like City, it's going to be quite tough. I don't want to make excuses, you know, say there's so many games to play, but when you look at this calendar, there is a lot going on, okay? There's a lot of games going on, so I don't expect anything just about yet. What I do expect is what I'm seeing, and that is these two firing quite well. Sesko 18 and 10, 27 and 10 from Openda, Simmons 14 and 12, Christoph 12 and 5, 2 and 16 for David Raum, Henriks 3 and 6. I mean, where does it stop? We are already showing very promising lifelines of what we're going to be doing. This is exactly what I want to see. 8 and 6 from Silva. I did decide to keep him. It was a mixture of decision and being forced to keep him because nobody wanted him, but we can work on that at the end of the day. Speaking of people that people don't seem to stick with, Timo Werner. He's had quite a fair few clubs bounce him around recently. For us, he actually played 20 games, 3 goals and an assist, and he did return overall 7 and 3. So for a backup striker, he only done a little bit worse than Antonio Silva, so I don't hate it. Another player that sort of chipped in quite well this year is Elmas, 25 years of age. He actually returned 10 goal contributions, which is really, really helpful. So the team are gelling. The team are playing. Everybody's getting a look in. Baku a bit more of a quieter season. Haidara, a couple of goals. And this is why I don't like to lock in players unless we're doing, like the other day with a new gem rebuild, when we're doing a generic 10 years, whatever happens, happens, I like to build a squad, not just an 11, because we can really start to, you know, there could be a world where, for example, Antonio Silva stays for 5 years, and it's just a really good backup option. Teams need backups. Simple as that. There's a lot of football to be played. But going into that next window, we have got a budget of very similar £35 million. The debts and loans are coming down tenfold, so we are doing really well regarding that. But it's no secret. We still need to strengthen, so I will go and spend. But there's a lot of players, including this man here, who I believe is wanted by Arsenal. Schlager wanted by Bayern, Raum wanted by Dortmund, Henriks not injured, he's just, okay, he's got an injury, but he's not wanted. Yeah, we've got to hold off big time. Right then, so signing one is going to be, or the only signing is going to be Amar Dedic. Now, this is just for realism, okay? He's a Salzburg man, and I'm not being funny. He reminds me of Hickey as well. Left back, right back, very helpful for us. He's actually come in and got a lot of game time. Now, I can't locate exactly before I look at the stats and look at the past games, whether he locked himself in at left back or right back, as in got there, because he's pushed someone out of the team. 5 assists, a very good average rating, and he's a player that was brought in just to sort of have as backup and slowly come in, because he is, I believe, 3 years younger than Raum, so he's not like expected to come in and be crazy, but it's exactly what he has done. And for that price tag of 30.5 million, I can't complain. That is a really fair price tag. Now, we actually did go and have a lot of players go out on the free, all to the same team in Firth. None of these players are ridiculously worth talking about, apart from a couple of players here that still might have a future here. The first one is Nusa. I decided to loan him out because I respect him too much to see him rotten on the bench. He went to the Bundesliga 2, to Dusseldorf, and actually enjoyed a really strong season, which is positive for us. And also, Yannick is a player who sometimes can develop quite well, although at the moment, probably not going to be part of the plans. He also goes to Nuremberg in the Bundesliga 2, where he scored 9 goals. So it's better for them, better for me as well, because some of the wage gets covered, and just also better for any football fan. You don't want to see players rotten on the bench, let him get game time. And with that one change, that new man coming in, we nearly won the Pokal, but FC Bayern are going to be too strong on the day. And I mean, Sesko had a great time in this tournament. 11 goals, Timo Werner with 5, goalkeeper Zander Voort there coming in with 3, Elmas the second most assists, and I mean, we got our way through fairly. We beat Dortmund in extra time there. We also beat, I mean, this was a bit of a bye, to be honest, against Magdeburg, whether you say that, in the Bundesliga 2. But we beat Dortmund to earn our place in the final. So we didn't get lucky. We earned our place to be there, but we simply couldn't get it done on the big stage. technically an improvement in the Champions League, as we are going to make our way through to the quarter-finals. Now, it was a very close game against Barcelona, and I will say there is a world where I feel like if we would have got through this, potentially we could have got into the final. I mean, we would have played one of these 4 teams, but there's just something about Barcelona that I feel quite confident about. I feel like we could have beaten Barcelona, but obviously that would have meant getting Barcelona, and it is going to be a Man City-Real Madrid final at some point. But it is a bit of improvement. The league phase also was incredible. We only lose 1 game against Celtic, and we beat Feyenoord, United, Napoli, Chelsea, Inter Milan, Athens, and Copenhagen. A very, very strong season. And to make it stronger, we have won the Bundesliga title. So in Season 3, we've ticked off one of the challenges. We are back on top, or back for the first time on top in Germany. A great season, only 4 points in it between us and Bayern, but I don't really care. And why has that happened? Because Sesko and Openda are both now in the top goal scorers. That is close to 42 goals between them. That is remarkable. 41 goals between them, sorry. Bit of a brainwave. Also, you have got the likes of Xavi Simons in the 3rd top most amount of assists, and Andre Silva in the average rating. So it goes to show when your players do start really, really bagging in the goals, the results follow. And you know what? We worked really well here, because we worked on getting less draws, and the losses have come down by about 3 or 2. So I mean, a very, very strong time. We do lose against Bayern, but we also beat them, obviously, because we don't draw against them. So it is going to be that 1-to-1 balance again. But the difference, this time, we're going to be on top. Now, in terms of money, we have got a total budget of 55 million. Now, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but I thought maybe about the 70 million pound window would be to be expected after winning the league. But we will take 55 and we will run with it as the transfer debt keeps on coming down and down and down. Now, as a team, very, very similar vibe. We are talking 28 and 6 from Openda, 40 and 13 from Sesko. By far Sesko's best season, and he actually is. He's got a little bit of a knock, but he'll be sorted for next year. Xavi Simons, ridiculous contributions. Same with Christoph, same with Seevald and Schlager. Henriks 5 and 12, Raum 0 and 11. But if I put the best 11 in, does Dedic get in? He doesn't, so Dedic actually had 15 goal contributions as a backup getting brought on. Elmas 5 and 12, Silva 18 and 2. This is a man who, that is a very strong Bundesliga record, so fair play to him doing his thing. Baku 3 and 7, Timo Werner 12 and 1. I mean, he's scoring a goal every other game, and some of them games will be late appearances, so fair play to him. I mean, really fair play to him. It is remarkable. So, one man we can get rid of is Poulsen. He needs to go big time. We don't need 3 backup strikers. It is ridiculous. But we have got the wanted problem. What is the wanted problem? Let me explain. The players are wanted. Willy Orban is wanted. That can actually happen. That's fine. Seevald, I don't want to sell. AC Milan are knocking. Schlager, he's wanted by Napoli and Dortmund. Simmons is wanted by Arsenal and Liverpool. And Openda is wanted by Liverpool. Have Liverpool won the league? Because if they have, it's going to be worrying. Please, they're 4th. Okay, that might be enough to hold them off for another season. Because if they've won the league and they've won loads of stuff, did they win anything massively? Champions League, no, got knocked out of that one. Carabao, they're going to be out of that quite early. Okay, we should be fine, so hopefully we can keep them. So let's get into the next window and go and spend our 55 million. Well, I actually didn't want to sell him, but his contract was coming up, and Antonio Silva has decided to move. And do you know what? I can't hate it. It's annoying because the guy was actually doing really well, but midway through the season, he took a move to Celtic, and he is a bagsman. 22 goals in 30 games. We get £7 million back for him. It's better than nothing, but I would have actually had him as a backup for another couple of seasons. But do you know what? I appreciate it. He still wants to be a very competitive striker. He wants to go and get his goals. I'm not going to complain. I'm going to say goodbye to Willy Orban. He has been at the club literally most of his career, man. Always been in Germany. He's now going to go to the Saudi League, still play a ton of games and do very, very well. And we are going to recover 3.6 million. So we've actually profited off a 34-year-old centre-back. Not on my bucket list to sell this player at all, but when Newcastle come in, I believe they popped a release clause of £59 million. Now, it is significant profit on what we paid from Salzburg, and this is the story of RB Leipzig. They buy cheap, they sell expensive, so I guess it's realistic, but it is so annoying to see him leave this early on. We're only in 2027, and Newcastle have come in, they've swept him, they've got him, they've got their man. And they were not even one of the clubs that were interested. It's worse, because I was confident in keeping Xavi Simons because he was only wanted by Liverpool, but Barcelona come in and offer 104 million, so we have profited 100 million, which is something, I will say that, it is something, but they picked him up obviously halfway through the season. He's gone there and done very, very well. Has he won the title? I actually hope he hasn't. I really hope he hasn't. He hasn't. Get in there, Madrid. We like to see that. But he has gone to Barcelona and he left me in the absolute mud. Now, luckily, I did sign someone as a backup who obviously now is instantly first team. So we're going to go over the incoming players. But I mean, Seevoud, Silva, Simons, Orban. Two of them I'm happy to see go, or it's not a big issue that they've gone, but Seevoud and Simons, you've ripped the heart of the midfield out. Signing one is going to be Danny Namasso. Now, he actually was brought in as a backup to Simons, but of course now first team. He does do very well, don't get me wrong. I signed him mainly because the guy was cooking in Portugal for FC Porto. It's actually a really good return in his first season, but he has got a lot to fill in for Xavi Simons because this guy's good. Xavi Simons, elite. That is the difference, but I'm not going to put that on the player because when you look at the attributes, the guy has got a lot to offer, so hopefully he can just keep that going. And we had enough money to go and sign another centre-back for 54 million, Eric Garcia, who is a very, very good centre-back, 1 goal, 6.85. You might be saying, Josh, why Eric Garcia compared to the other options? Simply, I wanted someone with a bit of pace and can really help us playing out from the back. And he is one player you turn to for the second thing there. He is quick, he can also put a challenge in, but he is a really technical option at the back. And I want to implement a nice ball-playing defender. And I think this is a perfect candidate who would actually really want to come here as well. Now, when you look at it, we have lost so much more than what we have brought in, and I'm worried this affects the team. Luckily, even with losing these players here, the big ones, we still have got more than enough backup, more than enough depth, and it will give people like Danny Namasso the chance to get into the team right away and really, really fight, and he probably has done a lot better than what he would have been if Xavi Simons was there. But losing Simons and Seevoud in this season is ridiculous. It is genuinely nuts. But we are going to find ourselves in another Pokal final, and this time it is going to be against Freiburg. So hopefully we can get off to a good start. As we do there, a great ball from Sesko and Openda. At least those two didn't leave, because that would not have been a good time, because that would have probably killed the rebuild. We're then going to have a great ball in there, and an even better header coming in from Klosterman, who does start a Pokal final, which is nice to see. And we are going to go over and take a 3-0 lead before the half-time whistle. Openda, ball inside, a bit of luck there. Gertruder of all goal scorers is going to slot it into the bottom left, and we are going to lead 3-0. And the only goal to come is going to be a consolation from a very, let's just use the word unique set piece, as it is really well crafted, but they were no threat. We also did lift the German Super Cup at the start of the season over FC Bayern, meaning 2 finals, 2 wins. Champions League, not really an improvement, but also nothing to be annoyed about because we're clearly decent in other German trophies. We've still got the league to look at as of yet, and we're not quite ready to even win the Champions League. So I'm not ignoring the fact we've lost, but it is against City, and we're only a few seasons in. We've lost Xavi Simons and Seevoud. We're going for a rebuild phase. We've got to be fair on ourselves. And the league, there you go. We've won the league as well. Now, it's incredibly tight with FC Bayern, but we have won a German treble. So I can't complain about the Champions League. A very, very strong season. Again, Sesko, Openda, your top goal scorers. We are going to have Lunin now getting... Oh, that's an interesting battle. Good to see there. Lunin right in there with Cabell and Kevin Trapp. A nice little battle. Simon, Sesko in the average rating. Dedic, the second most assists. He must have taken a position in the team now to make that happen. But I mean, in terms of the goals... We've also got players down here in the likes of Christoph, and obviously Xavi Simons also is going to be there with his small time at the club this year. So overall, a very, very strong season in the year of 2027, one that we can be proud of and one that we can push on and try and grow. And money-wise, we've got nuts money. We've got 174 million. The debts and loans are practically clear because we have won so many trophies, obviously qualified for the Champions League, and I imagine still got a ton of money to spend from these sales, because we profited 174 million, we spent 84 million, so I know it's a little bit of rounding up and down, but it's almost 100 million pound in the profit, and that was without even having the money that we got given to sign players. So we were bound to have a big window, and we can now go into this team and fill the void of these two empty gaps, which is not nice to look at, because as it stands, it's not a bad thing, but you've got Namaso, you've got Christoph, Sesko Openda, Schlager, Gertruda. Is Gertruda the man to get the job done? That is the question, because he's just he's a handy player to have, isn't he? He can play right back, centre back, DM, he's very versatile, but is he good enough to be an all-and-out DM? I don't quite know. Obviously, we've also got the likes of Haidara, Mariba, Verman as well, but I don't know if it is going to be the correct option. I think we probably need to just do what you're probably thinking back home and sign another attacking midfield player and another DM. Sort of tit for tat, you know, go literally get what you've replaced, because this man now might be our first team and we might now go and sign a backup, or if Florian Wirtz wants to join, Namaso can go to be a backup. But I mean, we've got the money now, so we're not completely in the mud, but it's not nice to see two of your best players go in one window. Right then, so signing one is going to be a great midfield option. It is going to be Manu Kone, coming in from AS Roma for 63 million. The guy returns a great average rating, good amount of assists and also goals, a good amount of appearances in the league as well, and just as an overall player, really looks to be something special. Very well-rounded, mentally, physically, and technically. He is on the older side, I do get that, but sometimes you need to sign these players with a bit more of experience to sort of help the younger ones around him, and at the end of the day, Seevald, was 25, 26, so he's not much older. It is pretty much like-for-like signing, and this guy also has the versatility over Seevald, so a pretty decent signing. Just because he was available and he's also bagging in goals, we are going to pick up Victor Boniface. Now, he has had seasons here, 16, 10, 10, 8 and 4. So this is probably his weakest season, hence why they were allowing him to be sold. I don't know why you would, because this guy is a ridiculous striker, and I'm not going to use the word backup, he is now a competitor for Sesko and Openda. We've now got Boniface, Sesko, Openda as striker options, forgetting the backups we've got as well. So we have got a really, really, really good striker lineup who all have pace, all are strong, and all are proven to score goals in German football. Also, we are going to pick up Pafundi. Now, this is going to be our attempt to replace Xavi Simons. A very different player. Some would say better, some would say equal, some would say not as good. For me, I'm going to say at least equal, because you look at him. He's got the pace, the agility, the determination, the flair, the off-the-ball work. He's got the dribbling, he's got the technical side to him, and he reminds me very much of a more technical Xavi Simons. Maybe not as physical, that could be the downside, but at the age of 22, driven personality, £52 million, I am not going to complain. 16 goals, 7 assists, a great average rating. That might be one of the highest I have seen in quite some time. A 7.64 in his debut season at Leipzig, and his debut season in Germany as a whole country. A very, very strong performance. And lastly, for 39 million, we are going to pick up a grand Hugo Larsson. A backup option, as you can see, 39 million. He only plays 8 games, to be expected, but getting him from Frankfurt was one of the easiest things I have done. He obviously wanted to leave and go to us because we've already won so much. Why wouldn't you want to come? Now, looking at this window, this is a lot more appealing than what happened here. We are now introducing 2 very good midfield players, a great attacking midfield player, and a great striker. And the only players we have lost are 5 players out on loan who are more than happy to be loaned, and 1 player here in Dirk going out on the free to Schalke. So we have definitely improved, but is it enough to try and replicate what we done last season? Is this enough to improve in the Champions League? Let's go and find out. Well, we are going to go back-to-back winners now in the German Super Cup. We beat Bayern twice, and this time just by a goal, and I am going to take it. The Pokal, we are also going to go back-to-back, beating Freiburg 6-3 in the final, which is absolutely remarkable. In terms of the semis, we are going to get past Stuttgart, luckily, by a goal. The quarterfinals, a 4-1 win over Nuremberg. The third round, Frankfurt. The second round, okay, we got spoon-fed to the final, and then we got Freiburg in the final. I feel a little bit dirty that we dodged all the big teams, but I'm going to take it. Back-to-back winners in both of those. What else did we achieve? Well, this would have been a season, wouldn't it? Runners-up in the Champions League in Season 5. Now, we must have beaten some big boys here to earn our place. Tottenham, 6-1. I classed them as a big team. Leipzig, 4-3 over Barcelona. That is nice to knock Simmons out. Round of 16, Borussia Dortmund in our league, of course. And the league phase, top of the rankings, invincible. Draw against Bayern and beaten all of the other teams around us. Have we won the league? Yes, we have. So that is an improvement on the last season, because we have replicated the German treble and got to a Champions League final. So we obviously have improved, and that is the addition of several players. That is an almost guarantee. You are now seeing 3 RB Leipzig players in the top goals. Openda 27, Boniface 22, Pafundi 16, Lunin the most clean sheets, Raum 14 assists. Him and also Dedic are really going toe for toe in that. It's really, really good. And we have now got a team that is, in a healthy way, competing against each other. There's so many positions open, so many different players that offer different things at different times in different matches. And that's exactly what we need, because this team on paper is now a serious threat. Look at this 4 here. Pafundi, Namasso, Boniface, Openda, 41 and 8, 40 and 7, 24 and 18. Namasso, I'm not going to lie, has a bit of a quiet season, but still getting the job done. We've also got Christoph, who probably would have been playing a bit more, 11 and 13. Henriks, 4 and 13. Dedic, 1 and 5. Raum, 4 and 22. A very, very strong season. Namasso, obviously, as we said, 7 and 8. Sesko, 8 and 2. So again, he's now asking to leave because he wants more game time. Don't have that mentality, Sesko. You fight for your position, as Dedic does, as everybody does. We're here as a team, not as individuals. So he will learn that, and he will be staying at the club. Haidara, out on loan, has a great season. He, of course, is out on loan at Stuttgart currently, 3 and 10. Very, very impressive. These players need to appreciate we're building a squad here, not just them to go and get 90 minutes every game. So at the moment, I'm very happy with what we're building. I'm very happy with what we have won. The reputation is sky high. The trophy cabinet needs expanding. And we have also got a budget of 114 million. So we can go and strengthen into the next season. And the question is, not are we going to win the Champions League? When? Then here's a player that I have tried to obviously loan out multiple times and just isn't really doing much in the team. So he is going to go on the free to Inter Milan, who then instantly, so not instantly, but after 20 appearances, sold him to Villa for 10 million. So he has gone from Germany to Italy to England in the space of just over a year. So he's getting about, he's doing his travelling while being a football player. You can't hate it. And the one signing to complete probably some of the best wing-back lineups you're going to see, we have got Coyote. Now, he's going to come in for a total of 79 million. He drops 9 goal contributions, a great average rating, and you might sound shocked when I say this, he wasn't first choice. There was a ridiculous new gen on the market, but they wanted 248 million, Chelsea did. So we're going to go with this guy because he's still quite young. The guy is rapid. He can also put one incredible cross in, which is basically a key candidate, has to have that to be considered in this team because of how important the wing-backs are. He's also got great tackling, great work rate, great stamina, great strength. He is literally the perfect right back, and to be honest with you, probably clears Henriks. I'm going to be honest, Henriks has been a great right back. He is getting older, and we are always seeking opportunities to improve, and that's exactly where this guy comes in. Now, we are going to go back to back to back to back in the German Super Cup, this time a 3-1 win over Bayern. At this stage, is there any point in Bayern even turning up? The Pokal, we are not going to do the 3-peat in. We are going to lose in the quarterfinals, and this time against Stuttgart, a team which I thought we would always tuck away, to be honest now. Well, I said how long till we win the Champions League. It's not going to happen in this year. We are going to drop down quite a fair few stages as we lose to Barcelona on penalties, and me saying how nice it was to knock them out, I guess Xavi Simons is laughing this year. Did they go on to win? They also won the league, and let me guess, Xavi Simons is in the team. Of course he is. I mean, it's a great team. Striker's debatable, but I mean, it's a very, very good team. It's so frustrating to see, but it is what it is. We are going to have the last laugh, hopefully. In terms of the league, we're not going to have the last laugh because this is not a season where I thought we would actually lose it. But Bayern, fair play to them, we have won it, what now, 3 times back-to-back. So Bayern bounced back with a 4-point lead. I mean, we've still got 2 goal scorers in the top rankings there. The difference, the clean sheets, has gone down. Lunin is now in 6th. So how is Lunin looking? He is getting older, isn't he? He is getting older, so maybe we consider that. We have got to pay attention, pay close attention. Profundi having a great season. So as seasons go, it's not great. We're used to winning German trebles without being cocky. We're used to winning German trebles, so that is a big kick in the teeth. Money-wise, we haven't taken a hit at all. We've actually got more than last season, I think. 117 million, 0 net debt, 0 transfer debt. We can go and spend. Our weak area is our backline. Now, goal scoring wise, we are ridiculous, and I wouldn't really question it when you've got stats like this coming in. I mean, it is absolutely nuts. But the backline's our weakness, apparently, so we'll look at it before we go into the transfer window. Lunin isn't secure. There are other goalkeepers, the Brugens, Restes, Costas, them sort of names that probably are going to float about soon. The left backs are secure, in my opinion. Garcia, what are our centre backs? Garcia, Klosterman, Luca Bay. How is Luca Bay performing? He's okay. He's not performing that well, actually. Not developing that well. Is he playing? He's playing a few games. Definitely could be doing better. Klosterman we can offload. Bitshabu we can also offload. Yeah, maybe another centre-back, but it's going to have to be someone pretty good. So this window, aiming for a centre-back and a keeper. So we've ticked one box. We are going to sign Steven Capdeville. I don't know how you say that. I'm going to call him Steven because I can't butcher that. He is going to be a 22-year-old French new gen coming in who is potentially looking a bit ridiculous at centre-back because he has got everything. He is quick, good agility, good jumping, good anticipation, the positioning is almost 20 at the age of 22. The tackling's there, the heading's there. He actually has returned us 6 goals in the league alone, I imagine from set pieces, and dropped a great average rating, a good amount of games. He did cost me 64 million, but is that really a lot for a player of this quality? I don't think so. The value now isn't far off doubling, and probably will go on to double after a few more seasons. And to partner him, we spent 54 million on actually another Frenchman in Restes. Now, this guy was obtainable for one reason. He went to Frankfurt on the free. So when you offer Frankfurt 54 million, they took 39 for Larson. So I was confident we could get him. Now, he's not broken in as a 100% clear favourite in goal yet because he doesn't play every single game. And as you can see in Football Manager, goalkeepers usually stay fit for the entire season and do play all their games. At the moment, he's proven himself, which is completely fine. So I do think with that addition and the centre-back, and the fact we've not really lost anyone too important. I mean, Patrick here is going to leave. He is just a wonder kid with no real potential. And Mario, again, not really going to be looked at. So I do think we have improved. And I hope we can go back to winning the Bundesliga. I really do. Well, we don't. We are going to be in second place, and we are dropping off this time by 10 points compared to FC Bayern. Dortmund also 10 points off us, so Bayern really running away with it, to be honest, this year. Again, two goal scorers up front, Victor Boniface and Openda, 23 and 20. Our goalkeeper not in the clean sheets, I imagine because we've now got 2 very competitive goalkeepers. Profundi and Coyote are going to be first and second with the top assists, and Boniface is going to be the best average rating in the entire league, closely followed by Profundi. So a very, very, very strong season for those two, but in terms of league finish, it's not strong. The German Super Cup, we finally lose. I mean, we have won it so many times, and I tell you what, Bayern do get their own back. So this really is a season where we're not that guy. The Champions League, another round of 16 exit, and although I'm not going to try and be bitter about this, I want to get to another final because we're now in season 7, I believe. We've got 3 more years after this. There's no guarantee we even win a Champions League now. And with the team that we're building, I can't accept that. But to make things a little bit better, we are going to be in a Pokal final, and this is no disrespect to any Schalke fans, but when you're playing Schalke with the team that we've got, you're just ridiculously confident, okay? It's a great goal very early on. Profundi is now going to go down the left-hand side. In this formation, almost acting as a bit of a winger, allowed to run wide with the ball. That looked out, but obviously not as a Pender, is going to make it 2-0 inside of 16 minutes. And from this point on, they may as well have went home, because next up is going to be Christoph, a great ball in, a great header from Boniface to make it 3-0, and unfortunately, it didn't stop there. We are going to see Christoph again with the ball down the right-hand side, plenty of space, burns past his man, a little cutback into Klosterman, and it actually ended up being a ball for Profundi to latch onto as we lead 4-0. And to wrap up this game in the 72nd minute, we are going to have the new star-studded Frenchman into Kone, into Christoph, through into Profundi to complete his final hat-trick, a 5-0 win. So to complete a pretty dull season, at least we have won 1 trophy. That is a very small positive, but we can take it and obviously move on. But a lot of improvements. Now, we are still actually very, very close to being the best in the league for goals being scored. We have also improved significantly defensively, so it's going to be quite tough to decide where we actually spend. How much money have we got? Our 80 million? 93 million pounds, so it's going to be quite tough to actually decide where we spend that. Now, to help us, we're going to go through the team once again. We're going to constantly do this until we really pluck out where we need to spend this money. Now, in terms of wing backs, I think we're golden. We've got Raum, we've got Coyote, we've got Dedic, we've got Henriks, we've got Baku. We can almost offload a couple of them, which we will be doing. I mean, goalkeepers we're now sorted for. Centre-backs, Garcia, we have got what's his name again? Is it Steven? So we've got him, we've got Steven, we have got Klosterman, we've got Luca Bayer, that's completely fine. Schlager Gertruder. I mean, the backups are completely fine. We've got Kone and we've got Larson. Do we consider offloading one of these and getting a proper world-class player in? The AMs, Profundi, Namaso. Do we get another backup to partner Christoph? Because Asan isn't really developing that well anymore. I mean, Christoph's doing great. That's 27 goal contributions. You know what I mean? Lunin actually got 2 assists, so fair play to him. I think we look at this area here, you know, in the AM roles. That's what we're going to look at. So I'll cut back when we've signed, hopefully, a very good option there. Completely scrap that because I saw this kid on the market and I thought, you know what, let's just completely rock solid the back line up, and we're going to do that by signing Lenny Yoro from Manchester United. 90 million pounds, big money for a big player, but I expect our back line now to not only be the best but to literally not concede a goal. We've invested heavily in that back line over the past few seasons, so I'm hoping for honestly instant results. And maybe that's crazy, but also you look at the names we have brought in over the past few years in the back line. That is going to include goalkeeper. Lenny Yoro comes in, Steven, Restes. You then go back, Coyote comes in. You go back a little bit more, you've also got the likes of, where is he? Eric Garcia, Dedic. We have Lunin, obviously he's also part of that team. Our back line should be rock solid. So I've invested the money there because, to be honest, the AM was priority, but there was no one that wanted to join who was actually worth signing. So I was like, instead of just not looking in other areas, let's see what's on the market. And Lenny Yoro is no joke. He's quick, good tackler, good heading, young, partners perfectly with Steven. It makes complete sense. And it is still not enough to win a Bundesliga title. It's still not enough. We're going to be 4 points behind. So, I mean, it's a good recovery in terms of catching up. Boniface, the top goal scorer. Christoph, the second best performer. Profundi, the top assister. It's a decent step up to try and recover it, but that's still not enough to actually get the job done. Mind-boggling. Champions League, we are going to blitz Newcastle in the round of 16 4-2, which does obviously mean we get to the quarter-finals, where we are going to beat Chelsea 6-1. So we're doing very well so far. Into the semis, a 7-0 win over Dortmund, and we are going to be playing Barcelona in the Champions League final. This is an incredible grudge match. So off to Budapest for the Champions League final, and we are going to get off to an electric start. Openda down the left-hand side, running at the back line. Great ball in and a great finish from Victor Boniface to go 1-0 up inside of 4 minutes. And the good start doesn't stop there. Restes, a very, very direct approach, actually almost does go all the way through. This is going to count as an assist if it goes in, and it does. Openda gives Restes the assist, and that is why sometimes you take long goal kicks. We're then going to see Barcelona play with Balde through into Kolo Muani. That is incredible signing. What a signing that is. In the middle. Oh no. It's Xavi Simons. Of course it is. At least he didn't celebrate, but that is not a nice feeling. Please do not bottle this game now. 82 minutes on the clock. Christoph down the right-hand side, almost acting as that winger. A ball inside. Boniface. That is going to be a 3-1 lead, and surely we can't let this slip now. We cannot let this slip. Coyote down the right-hand side, into Kone. Back into Coyote, taking on his man. Get a little ball in. Go on, whip it in. Great ball in. It's gone through, and the Masso is going to get the goal, and we are going to be Champions League winners with a 4-1 win, and Xavi Simons, this is what you could have had. Also going to go on to reclaim that Pokal 4-0 over Borussia Mönchengladbach, and to make it sweeter, we also win the German Super Cup 5-0 over FC Bayern. So we have made a statement in both of these cups again, and we have won a Champions League in the year of 2031. I've got to do this right now. I've got to look at it. How nice does that look? Incredible to see, and a 5 out of 5 reputation. And we've done it, to be honest, without actually breaking the bank. No debt at all, a very healthy budget going into the next window, and what a season it is. We win the league there. It's the perfect season. A very, very good statement made, and it goes to show, don't always accept the transfer offers just to try and, don't always do it. So, Trent, if you're watching this, Madrid might not be the right choice. The grass is not always greener, I will say. Look at Xavi Simons. But Coyote comes in with 19 goal contributions, 1 and 3 from round, so a bit of a quiet season. But then Dedic steps in, so 6 and 15. Lenny Yoro and obviously Steven, it's just French supreme back there, with Restes as well. It's incredible. Gertruda 2 and 11, Schlager 4 and 5, Namasso 9 and 9, Profundi 14 and 25, Openda 31 and 7, Boniface 42 and 15, Sesko 15 and 4, 20 and 12 from Christoph. This isn't just an 11 now. This is a squad we have built. We have built up an absolute powerhouse. Now, the worrying thing is, we've got offers or wanted signs by a lot of our players. So we go down here. Forbes, he can go. This goalkeeper can go. Baku's wanted by Alwida. He can also go. Klosterman wanted by Köln, Shabab and Hoffenheim. He can go to any of those. Raum is not being sold. Garcia is wanted by Newcastle. He's not being sold. Boniface by Al Ittihad. He is not going to be sold. Openda by, you're not having both my strikers. Profundi by Tottenham, never going to happen. Schlager by Al Riyadh. Now, that might happen, potentially. We've got a lot of players that are wanted by some pretty big clubs in terms of finances. And realistically, we ain't going to keep all of these names I've just read out. Next season, here we go. Well, do you know what? The only player out of all of those names that actually left is going to be Van der Voort. He's going to go to Tottenham for 900k as a backup goalkeeper. So we've done pretty well to keep him. For 31.5 million, we are going to welcome in another very world-class 5-star new-gen elite attacking midfield player, and he's from Frankfurt again. This is the easiest team to give money to. They will take anything over 30 million. They are such an easy target. 13 goals, 10 assists in 28 games. 25 goal contributions in 28 games. As a player who has spent only 1 year in Germany at Frankfurt, the rest of his time at Copenhagen, they created a monster, and now we've got to tame it. Although we're not going to tame it. We're going to let him do what he wants, because he looks absolutely incredible. And honestly, he gets right into the team for me. He is literally the perfect player. And, speaking of perfect players, think of the best midfield player in the world right now. Kobbie Mainoo. That is a joke, but he is a very good player. He is going to join after a pretty ropey time at Chelsea for 33 million. He does pretty good, 11 goal contributions, but when I see an unhappy Kobbie Mainoo, I can't not take action, so I'm bringing him into the German side, bringing him into the Leipzig team. He is a really good addition, to be fair. Suits the DLP quite well, and just looks a really promising player. Obviously, when I say promising, I don't mean in terms of potential, because he's now sort of capped at what he's going to be. But what he has become is promising. A star player in his prime years, actually on an okay wage as well, not a ridiculous transfer fee, so yeah, another really good strong transfer window. And the addition of Kobbie Mainoo and of course the other man, he is going to come in, both of them, and we have done a great job. 30 wins, 3 draws and 1 loss being against FC Bayern. But we have a 20-point advantage, which is some statement to send out. Boniface, Openda are going to be your top goal scorers. We still don't have a goalkeeper in the most clean sheets, but we have 4 players in the average rating and 3 in the assists. There was not a world we don't win this league with them stats. Our first chance to win a UEFA Super Cup, of course, after winning the Champions League. Can we get the job done against a very strong Arsenal team? Well, it appears we've got a chance because Openda is going to make it 1-0 inside of 54 minutes. We're then going to have Steven find none other than the new man in that cam position. Coyote down the right-hand side who's going to drill a ball in, and that is going to be, is that an own goal? It's not an own goal, it's another goal for Openda as we go on to win this game 3-0 after some pretty questionable defending from an interesting Arsenal team, and none other than Sesko is going to be the assister to an Openda hat-trick. Also go on to win the German Super Cup 3-1, making it again back-to-back seasons, and in this rebuild we've now won it a grand total of 5 times. Pokal we are also going to win again 3-0 over Frankfurt, making that again back-to-back seasons. We have now won that again 5 times this rebuild. The German Cups we are having an absolute field day with. Mark Stenbrig, our new man, is going to make a very, very big statement in the Champions League final against FC Bayern inside of 7 minutes on the clock. So a big statement there. Openda is then going to step about 4 minutes after from the penalty spot as Bayern appear to be collapsing. Or are they? They are definitely. We are going to have Stenbrig again playing a very, very direct ball over the top into Boniface inside, and Openda is going to make it 3-0 in 25 minutes. And the only thing that Bayern could respond with was a consolation goal, I believe, from Musiala. It wasn't even a fight. Champions League winners again. Meaning we have done everything. We have won the Bundesliga, the Champions League, the Super Cup, the Pokal, the German Super Cup, 5 out of 5. We have completed German football with years to spare. The reputation is at an all-time high. The trophy cabinet, as you can see, is at an all-time high. There is so many new trophies being added. The finances are looking incredible. Only 53 grand in debt, which is pennies. In terms of the transfer budget, we've got 120 million, and the team, I'm struggling to fault it because you look at the players we have got, the one weakness, you might say, could be potentially the strikers are a bit old. So we might try and get a younger striker, and we've still got years, we've still got, a bit of time to go with this rebuild, which is mental after seeing what we've done already. The back line is so solid, the midfield's looking incredible, and you look at the stats in this team, not 11, team. Coyote, 9 and 23. You've got Steven with 10 goals. They're the new set pieces. Dedic 4 and 15. Mainoo 7 and 10. Schlager 4 and 5. Stenbring coming in 22 and 19 in his first season. Profundi 18 and 29. Boniface 37 and 12. Openda 46 and 13. Namaso 11 and 11. 9 and 2 from Sesko. 7 and 5 coming in for Christoph. This is a team that a lot of players are getting game time, and the players that are first team players, I'll show them why they are. It is the perfect combination. So we're going to go into the next season mainly looking probably for new gens, because I want a really young striker, and I imagine at this stage of the game, new gens are the way to go. I'm quite excited, but what a season. So we are going to have some more outgoings. The first one is going to be Elmas. He is going to be going to the Saudi League for 13 million. He never really got a lot of chances in this team because he didn't even really take the early door chances, not exactly setting the league alight. So I thought, you know what? Let's move him on. For 1.6 million, I feel quite bad because he's obviously a new player in real life. But again, entry seasons were really, really impressive. But as time went on, less and less game time, we got a little bit of money back for him. Goodbye to Baku. Picked up a new gen right back as backup who can also play left back. I wasn't going to sign any more defenders, but when you've got a new gen that has the sort of ability to play left back and right back, thinking of you guys back home that are going to carry on this save file over on the Patreon, I like to cover you as well. So this one's more for you than for me. He cost me 40 million, a great first season, and a player there who you can use in whatever position you want. You know, endless opportunity. And we have got a striker, and he's not a new gen. Can you guess? A young striker, bags of potential. 3, 2, 1. Endrick is going to come in for £90 million. Now, his time at Madrid is pretty iffy at the moment, I think, but he's 26 years of age, which isn't young, but is a lot younger than what we have got by about 5 years, so it is still a very, very good signing. The new gens were simply too expensive, and that is me saying that, having spent 75 million up front for this guy. That's cheap compared to the new gen, so that should put an image in your head. The guy nearly scored a goal every game, so let's just say that, because that justifies every penny we have paid for him. It is a significant return. The guy is incredibly composed, great dribbler, great first touch, also got a bit of pace behind him, and now we've got a front line of Openda, Sesko, you've got Boniface, you've got Endrick. I mean, you've got 4 strikers there that most teams would have in their 11. How have we done it? We are going to sign out in the last season of this rebuild Bundesliga champions, and doing it in style by 12 points. Endrick, your top goal scorer. Pafundi, second top goal scorer. Restes, joint first clean sheets. Coyote and Stenbrig, your top assisters, which is really, really cool to see. And the pass winners, beautiful, man. Absolutely incredible. We have won so many league titles, and I mean so many. What a season. Back-to-back in the Super Cup, a 4-2 win over Tottenham. We'll take it. German Super Cup winners, again, over Bayern. That is now going to make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times in this video. Yeah. I think that's ours. We couldn't end on a high in the Pokal, but again, we've won it like 5 times, so I'm not annoyed in the slightest. Champions League, though. Oh, in Baku. We sold Baku, we're now in Baku, and Haaland is going to make it 1-0, and this is the first English competition we have played in a final. So this is a little bit of story for the video, as Coyote is going to go down the right-hand side, a ball in, and it should have been a penalty, but Pafundi is going to capitalise anyway and tie the game up. Mainu is then going to find it into Boniface, who is going to drive at this Man City backline and really go for them. A ball inside and a great finish from Endrick, and they've got Moulier in goal, which is quite the interesting signing, and we're going to go and not only, you know, get a comeback, but complete the comeback, complete the game, as we go on to win 3-1 with a great goal there from Pafundi. That is going to finalise Season 10 of this rebuild. We have won the Bundesliga, the Champions League, the Super Cup, and the German Super Cup. Did I say Super Cup twice there? The Super Cup and the German Super Cup. So 4 trophies on the last season, and I think we also won the Club World Championship. So if you want to throw that in, that will be 5, and we have done such a good job at rebuilding this club. I mean, so many trophies. I take it back, we did actually win the Club World Championship, so we did win that as well. A very, very strong rebuild, and I mean, in terms of what I have left you, might be the best setup you've got. I mean, genuinely, if you are interested in going over and carrying this on, I don't know what your challenge can be, but you've got a ridiculous team, you've got a budget of over 130 million, you've got 140 million, you've got basically no debt, and you've got one of the best lineups in world football. So if you are interested in carrying on, you can go over to the Patreon and get everything, all of the tactics, all of the rebuild files, and so much more, by the way. And this video would have been ad-free, so an added bonus there. I mean, genuinely, this is up there. And it means a fair bit, because it is a team that I absolutely love in real life. So when I only saw a couple of requests for this, I was like, do you know what? I'm going to make it happen. And the great thing about this is, you can comment as well. What rebuild do you want to see? Now, I need a mixture of teams that you want a 10-year rebuild with, and also challenge rebuilds. A challenge rebuild is basically where you might say to me, Josh, win Manchester United the Champions League with signing just free agents. Then that means that the video might end after 5 seasons, 7 seasons, 25 seasons. I will complete the challenge in that video. Hopefully that makes sense. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and that is going to be RB Leipzig turned into German champions and European giants.